How to get clients for a consulting business. That's what you're searching for, and we've got it for you today in this video. Join me for this edition of the Inside BS Show. Hi, my name is Dave Lorenzo. This is the Inside BS Revenue Growth and Sales Tips Show. That's right, we do sales tips every day, and today we're talking about how to get clients for a consulting business. You probably were searching for that exact topic, and that's what brought you here, and I'm glad you're here. I've built 3 consulting businesses over the last 30 years. This one, the one that I'm in right now, is my own personal consulting business. I'm a sole practitioner, and I do over $1 million a year in annual revenue. I work with a number of contractors, but I don't have any employees, and I truly make a great living and live a great life. My business enables my lifestyle. So I'm here today to help you get clients for your consulting business, whether you're an independent consultant and you're starting from zero. You might be a professional speaker and you're looking to add a consulting practice to enhance your speaking. I mean, with the COVID pandemic, you probably discovered that speaking as a business method wasn't a good idea if you didn't have something like consulting to diversify your revenue streams. So I can help you with that. Or if you're a consultant currently and you want to go from 6 figures to 7, that's my specialty. That's what I do. So today's show is all about how to get clients for your consulting business. I'm going to give you the 6 steps to do that. That's what we're doing in this video today. 6 steps to help you get clients for your consulting business, and I'm going to share with you an extra bonus step, and that's the secret to making all of this work. That'll be the 7th step. It's right at the end of the show. Don't miss it. I also have for you a free gift. I'll give that to you right at the middle of the video, so stick with me through this video. I'm happy that you're here. Let's dive into the content with step number 1 for how to get clients for your consulting business. And that step is identifying your ideal client. This is essential. Now, most people hang their shingle when they're starting their consulting business and they think, okay, I'm really good at what I do. I'm smart. I can solve problems in a specific area better than anyone. So, I'm ready. People are going to find me. And that's just not the case. What you need to do is you need to look through your client portfolios and decide who the ideal client is for you. Now, if you're just starting out, you should focus on, number 1, who will provide you with the highest transaction value. So where can you provide the most value to the client, and they in return will invest in you. Our focus in consulting is to always provide a return on investment, and a really good return on investment is about 5 or 6 times what they invest. Our business, my consulting business, provides a 10 times return or greater on the investment that people make in us. So you have to figure out who your ideal client is, how you can provide the best return on investment to them. There are 2 ways to go about this. You can look at industries, or you can look at specific needs that people have. When it comes to an industry focus, you're not going to align your consulting business just on one industry. You're going to focus your marketing initially just on one industry. When I started my solo practitioner consulting business, I came from big ticket consulting. I knew that I couldn't go after Fortune 500 companies right away. I hadn't established a relationship with any Fortune 500 companies that I could use as references or that I could get testimonials from. I didn't have a reputation in the community yet, in the Fortune 500 community, the executive community. So what I did was I focused on lawyers and law firms. And I immediately was able to get speaking engagements at bar associations. I was able to write articles and get them published in bar journals. I was able to go to networking events and connect with people who are high-profile lawyers in the local legal community and gain their endorsements. And I was able to do this within 6 months. And within 6 months, everyone in the state of Florida where I lived and the state of New York where I worked half of my time, Everyone in the legal community in those 2 states knew who I was. Within a year, everyone in the United States knew who I was from a business development standpoint as a consultant to lawyers. So for you, you can pick an industry niche, identify your ideal target, your ideal client's industry niche, focus on that, and you can become famous in that industry niche in 6 months or a year. But in the meantime, you'll be attracting clients because you'll be speaking to people in that industry niche over and over again. The other advantage this has is you learn their language. You can speak their language. You can connect with them at an emotional level. So focusing on an industry is a great way to go. Now, if you're in consulting and you do a special type of work and you're unable to focus on people in a specific industry, what you can do is you can focus on people who have a problem, a specific problem that you solve. So let's say that you're a consultant who solves the problem of, like me now, how to get clients. I've expanded beyond the industry that I initially focused in, which was lawyers, and now I work with all professionals, including consultants. And I answer the question, how do I get clients as a consultant? I also answer the question, how do I get clients as a CPA? Or how do I get clients as a life coach? How do I get clients for my digital marketing management business? Anybody who's a professional can work with me because I can solve that specific problem for them. So focusing on an industry niche is what I highly recommend, and it's the best way to get started. Once you've started and you have testimonials from people in that industry niche, then you can expand out and focus on solving a specific problem in other industries. Start with industries that are related, but then expand out. So step number 1, identify who your ideal client is and focus your marketing on that specific ideal client. We're going to get into step number 2 right now. Please join me for that. Now we're up to step 2 in this process. And step 2 is to go out and find those ideal clients in groups so that you can use leverage to connect with them en masse. Now, this is critically important because I know, because of your profession, you could easily focus on networking or on one-on-one marketing activities. That's not going to be as productive for you as going out and looking for groups of people who are your ideal clients. Now, you're thinking to yourself, okay, Dave, that's great. So use leverage, target these folks in groups, but how the hell am I going to find them? Here's the way that you can find these folks very easily. Go to your best client, the person who fits that ideal client profile, and say to him, Mr. Client, let me ask you a couple of questions. What groups or associations do you belong to? Let me ask you another question. What websites do you go to keep up with industry trends, to read the latest news for what's happening in your industry? And, if I asked you, hey, where would you go to find out what the latest best practices are in your profession? What website would you go to look all that stuff up? Third question, what trade journals do you subscribe to? Are there any publications that get mailed to you at the office or at your home? Are there any annual awards that are given out? Or are there any gatherings, conferences, or conventions that are the must-attend conventions for people who do what you do? Where do you go? What do you read? Who else do you work with? What other service providers do you work with to help you be effective and efficient in your business, Mr. Client? When you ask your ideal client these questions, you're going to get clues for how to target these clients, these ideal clients, the people you want to work with, the exact folks who are perfect for you. When you ask these questions of your best client, they're going to give you a path to connecting with other people who are just like them. Your goal is to find out what conventions they attend, what associations they join, what websites they visit to stay up on industry trends, and what publications they subscribe to. The reason you want to know all this is because you want to speak in those places. You want to write articles and get them published in those publications. You want to connect with people who sell things to your ideal client to do joint ventures. This is the research you need to do in order to target your ideal client en masse. Let me be very direct with you right now. If you're focused on attracting new clients, new prospects, if you're focused on getting leads one at a time, you're going to fail. You can't do that. I don't care what business, what industry you're in. Focusing on attracting prospects one at a time is a recipe for disaster. You need to attract dozens, if not hundreds, or even thousands of new prospects at a time. This is the way you start. That's step 2. Now it's time for you to join me for step 3. Let's go. And now it's time to talk about step 3. Step 3 is to make a free offer to the audience that you've gotten in front of en masse. Now, you can make this free offer either in an article that you've written, or from the stage if you're speaking, or in an email if you're doing direct email solicitation, or even in direct mail in a direct mail letter. This offer should be a free report or a course, or even you can even make it a free consultation if you'd like. When you make this offer to your audience, you're basically saying to them, here's more of the information that I shared with you when we first met. If you'd like more information, you can get it from me now. And if you get the free offer from me, I will follow up with you. And that's the key. You need to make your free offer, your offer of free information, so compelling that people cannot resist. And anyone who's seen you give a speech, or watched one of your videos, or listened to you on a radio interview, those people want to hear more from you, so they opt into your free offer. In fact, I'm going to demonstrate that concept for you right now. I have a free offer for you for watching this. If you'd like my entire process outlined in a way that you can immediately implement in your business, go to revenueroadmapguide.com. revenueroadmapguide.com. You can find a link to that site down in the description, and then simply enter your name, your contact information, and you will receive my free offer. And that's a 27-page white paper. It's a fill-in-the-blank paper that you can use as a marketing plan to grow your business. This is the entire strategy that I'm sharing with you in this video, plus additional information that you can use immediately to grow your business. So step 3 is make a free offer to your audience. I'm demonstrating that to you right now. Go to revenueroadmapguide.com, opt in to receive the Revenue Roadmap Guide, and you'll be getting a free offer from me. And then you can create your own free offer, either just like that, or in an educational video that people opt in to receive, or a free consultation. There are dozens of different ways to do this, but this is such a critical step because people who get the free offer, they convert from people who are suspects, people you suspect would be good clients for you. They convert into prospects, people who you know would be good clients for you if they have the urgency to work with you. So step 3, make a free offer. Take me up on my free offer right now. Go to revenueroadmapguide.com, opt in for your free offer. I'm going to see you right now in step number 4. Join me in step number 4 right now. So who's qualified to get in there? Who's qualified to come into your office and work with you? What do I mean by qualified? Well, that's the next step in our process. You see, before we bring people into the fold as clients, we want to make sure that they're going to be exactly like our best clients. And we must qualify them after they opt in to receive our free report and before we nurture them. So the qualifying step takes place before we even put these people into our system to follow up with them. We have to check in with them to see if they have the four things that are necessary for them to get in here to do business with us. What are those 4 things? Well, first, we have to make sure that the person that we're dealing with is actually a decision maker. What does that mean? We have to make sure the person has the financial authority to sign a contract. The person has the ability to commit their business, to commit their organization, or to commit themselves or their families to working with us. The second thing we need to make sure of is the person that we're talking to has to have a problem that we can solve. If they don't have a problem we can solve, this whole thing is for naught. The whole thing is useless. The third thing we need to make sure of is that they are willing and able to take action right now. They have to have urgency. They have to be ready, willing, and able to take action right now. And then the fourth thing, of course, they have to have the money. They have to be able to pay us. If they can't afford to pay us, then we'd be doing charity work. And if you want to do charity work, you should do it. But you should do it for an organization that helps out in your community or that helps a cause you believe in. You work to make money to enable your lifestyle. You don't work to contribute to the betterment of people who should otherwise be paying you. So those 4 things are critically important. Now, oftentimes people will have 3 of the 4. They'll be a decision maker, they'll have a problem we can solve, and they'll have the ability to make a decision. They just don't have the urgency to get going with us right now. And what do we do with those people? Well, the people who are ready to get going right now, the people who can afford us, the people who have a problem we can solve, and the people who are the decision makers, those people are clients. We sign them up immediately. If they don't have the urgency, we follow up with them forever. We nurture them. And that's the next step in the process. So join me as we walk through that door to go to the next step in our process, which is the nurturing step that comes after the qualifying step. And now we're up to step 5 in the process. And step 5 is very simple. You need to communicate with the people who've given you their information, and you need to communicate with them frequently. For every month that you don't communicate with these folks, you lose 10% of your influence over them until eventually, in 10 months, they won't even remember who you are. They've opted in to receive something from you. They've opted in to receive something they perceive has a high value. Now it's your turn to connect with them on a regular basis. My approach is to email the people who opt in weekly. Why? Well, think about it this way. How often do you communicate with your best friend? How often do you communicate with the people who are most important to you in your life? If you communicated with them less often, would your relationship get stronger or would it get weaker? The reality is frequency of communication builds trust. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to build a relationship because your business, your practice, your company is going to be built on the foundation of relationships. Even in a setting where people say, oh, I do business in the business to business space. You're not doing business with a building. You're doing business with another person. And the essence of relationships is productive communication between the participants. You need to communicate with everyone who's given you their contact information as frequently as you can, minimum monthly, preferably weekly. That is step 5, and that's the nurturing process. That's step 5, where the nurturing process, and that's the part of this entire sales process that holds everything together. Now, I want you to join me whether or not these folks are ready, willing, and able to help us grow our business, to invest in our services. Join me right now. So now we're at the part of the process where it's time for you to invite people in and invite them to become a client. You've been nurturing them faithfully for weeks, week in and week out. You've given them the opportunity to really learn from you. You've educated them with some great new content. You've shared with them some testimonials, some stories of people who you've helped. You've done everything you can to demonstrate to them that you not only have credibility, but you can really help them, and they believe that you can help them. So now it's up to you to invite them in to do business with you, and you do this through what's called a gateway engagement. This is an offer to work with them in a non-threatening, low barrier to entry way. This is not your $300,000 product offering. It's not your $10 million offering. It's an offer that is really easy for them to comprehend. They see the return on investment. They see that it will solve an imminent problem they're facing, and it is just very, very friction free. It's a simple way to do business. Let me give you a couple of examples. One of the ways that I offer a gateway offering to my clients is I do events on a regular basis. So you can come down to Miami and do an in-person event with me for one day, and it may cost you $550, $600, which is really the cheapest way to get involved with me. Once you come to that event and experience the power of the community that I've created, and you connect with me on a personal level, it's hard for you to not do business with me after that, because you see the return you're going to achieve. So for you in your business, you can do an in-person event. You can offer a service that is non-threatening, that people can invest a little bit of money in to understand your brilliance so that they can invest in bigger products or services down the road. Now, one of the things you can do is you can offer a consultation that is discounted from your normal consultation fee. So if you normally charge $1,500 for a consultation, you can offer a one-time discount to the people who are on your email list, the people you've been nurturing for weeks now. You can offer them a $750 consultation, and that includes a comprehensive assessment of their situation, and you'll review their situation with them and give them some constructive tips as to what they can do to get better. This is a great way to get some initial exposure to you. And once people get that initial exposure, they want to come back over and over and over again. So this step, the gateway offer, is critical, the gateway engagement. It's the first time somebody's going to experience you. It's the first time they're going to experience your services. I highly recommend you engineer this into your process, and you make offers of gateway services every 5 or 6 emails that go out to your weekly email newsletter list. Now, you can offer the same gateway engagement over and over again, or you can offer different offerings every 5 or 6 weeks. You can come up with 3 different offerings that you rotate. It's totally up to you. It's dependent upon who's on your list and what it takes to engage them. But each time you make an offer, people will come off and they will do business with you. That's the beginning of the relationship. It's just a starting point, and it's the key to long-term value, because they have to get involved with you in order to realize how brilliant you truly are. Now it's time for step number 7. This is the final step. This is the thing I told you was going to tie everything together. You don't want to miss this. Join me back inside as I share with you our final tip for today, the one thing you don't want to miss, coming up right now. So we're at step 7 for how to get clients for your consulting business. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. Now it's time for the secret that makes all the difference. Before we give you that, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. We do these videos every day. I don't want you to miss out. Also, give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave me a note in the comments about what you want to see more of. Okay, this is the secret, the one thing you got to remember. Always think long term. When it comes to doing business, when it comes to selling, when it comes to building your business, it's about relationships and not transactions. Always think about the long term, whether you're at step 1 or step 3. Think about the 3rd or 4th opportunity you're going to have to do business with this client, or think about when you onboard this client, how they're going to be with you for years and years and years. Download your Revenue Roadmap Guide. The link is in the description. Watch the next video in this series. You'll see a link to the next video right next to me. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Until then, here's hoping you make a great living and live a great life. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in our next video.